And we are live, and we are the NBA champions. Let's go. Didn't I tell you guys we were going to be back? Didn't I promise you we were going to be back? But oh my God, it happened. I might be speechless this show. I don't really have a lot to say. I'm going to be honest. I really don't. It's just unbelievable. So many emotions yesterday. And you guys, listen, you two, we started it with me, Kenny and Ryan. We ended it with me, Kenny and Ryan. So we're going to be doing this next October when we open it again. But boys, what a ride. I want to get right to you. Mr. Kirkpatrick, 25-26 NBA champion, our New York Knicks.
Kurt, known you for 40 years. We've been waiting for this. I got emotional last night. I'm going to get emotional now. 3 people I'm going to point to in the sky. 1, our former player, Anthony Mason, looking down at us. Let's go, Mace. We did it, Mace. Second one, great announcer, Nick announcer from the past, Mr. Al Trotwig.
Yeah.
Looking down at us, Mr. Al Trotwig. And last but certainly not least, Kurt, your Aunt Clem. Looking down, Aunt Clem. Big time Knicks fan. We got it, Clem. We got it.
We told you the stories last. We told you the stories after we won the East. You know, we said it. And I swear to God, I said to Jen the other day, she'll come on in a minute. And I said, you know what? This one's for Clem. She's the first person I'm going to congratulate is Clem.
Yes.
So let's go, baby.
Congratulations to you both.
Yes.
Congratulations to all our guests coming in and Knick fans around the world. I'll be right back. I forgot my glasses and I want to read some comments on my phone so I can't see them because my eyes are all glassy from the emotions. So I'll be right back while you get to Ryan.
Let's go to Mr. Miller. How are you, Mr. Miller?
Yeah, a lot better now. Congrats to you both as well. It couldn't have made it easy on us last night. There were a couple free throws down the stretch that were missed on both sides.
But isn't that though how it had to be, Ryan? It had to be like that. It couldn't have
been easy. It couldn't have been easy. I mean, the only time I've ever seen Knicks players up there holding a trophy is in a video game, right? So, I mean, seeing it for real, I'm still in disbelief, just like you said. And what a ride we were on this year. We were all high on this team from the beginning. We all said it was, make it to the finals or bust. We're all, cautiously optimistic. But as this series went on, you just saw the fight that this team showed from day one. And it's just such a great feeling. I don't know. I'm still processing, really. But glad to be on with you guys.
I was sitting down today and got up, got some newspapers in the morning. I went back to Dick's Sporting Goods. By the way, I go to Dick's Sporting Goods this morning. First off, we went last night about 12:30 at night. We're going to have it was myself, Jen, and somebody else. We'll get to that. So this morning I go back again, 7 o'clock. I walk in. I see my sister's yelling in the parking lot. So I saw her last night with Mike. Saw her again this morning. Then all I saw, suddenly I hear, Kurt. I turn around. Kenny, who do you think's in that store? His Ryan's mother.
Yep, he said that. Yep.
And she goes, you know what? She said, I'm getting a couple things for him. Came in late. And I said, very expected. Came, celebrate. She goes, I don't want him to run out. And she just kept buying 1 thing, 2 things. Between me and her, listen, man, we better work a little overtime because we were just cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. But you got to do it. It's a once in a life. This is the thing I'm going to say, Kenny. I heard so many people where they were on phones. I don't know who these people are. And they're just like, should I get this? And I actually heard someone was on speaker and they're like, it's a once in a lifetime thing. Buy everything. And that's what you do. That's what you do because we waited our whole life for this, guys, our whole life. And you know what? It happens. Now, when it happens again next year, maybe we don't go so overboard. But for now, we go overboard. But that's what it is. So, Ryan, What else for your opening statement? We have a lot to talk a bit about them, but just your other opening statement. Anything else?
Jalen Brunson put the team on his back. I mean, you couldn't have been there without Anunoby's tip. But last night, when it came down to it, we said Brunson's going to be the guy. We all talked about our X factors, what to watch, who to expect. That was one thing that they made simple for us. Get the ball in Brunson's hands, possession after possession after possession in the fourth quarter. You saw him go to work, and he has gone time Nick already. His career is not over. The sky's the limit for what he can continue to do. I mean, he's earned his number in the rafters already, and we still got more to come. I mean, it's hard to believe watching him play. Nobody had those kind of expectations for him when they acquired him, but he's just gotten better and better and better. And the saying goes, everybody's better than Jalen Brunson until it's time to be better than Jalen Brunson.
Well, here's what we're going to do. We have guests already piling in. Let's bring them in. But before we do that, I want to do something with us three.
Yeah, and I do want to just one more shout out, more big time shout out. I know he would have come on if we respect that he's busy and we didn't invite him on because of how busy he is. But our friend, and I call him a friend because he came on this show during COVID when there was no sports and spent a long time with us on an hour show. He spent an hour and a half with us, and that's the great Alan Hahn. So I want to shout him out and congratulate him.
Oh, he'll be on tomorrow. I can't wait for that.
I can't wait to hear from him. But a couple quick hellos, Kurt. Then we'll get our guests in. Glenn Ashley, our friend from Australia. Congratulations, Kurt, Kenny, Mark, Paul, to all of my Knicks fans. I'm happy for all of you, and especially my best friend in heaven, Corey Homicide Williams, and his family too. Manhattan on lockdown. Mark saying hello, and then Mark and Glenn having a little side chat as well on here. Our good friend Michael Ronquillo saying hello to everybody, and also saying don't forget about the UFC at the White House tonight. But we're going to talk about the Knicks right now, respectfully. Graham saying hello as well. Our backstage producer K&K and Broncos Blitz, and then Jody, came in with a little quick question, rapid fire. Kurt, are the Spurs the dumbest team ever?
No, I just don't. I just think the Knicks. You know what? I just think the Knicks. They couldn't handle the Knicks. I don't. I just think they couldn't handle. We'll get back to the questions. Let's bring people in.
And Jody just saying when Notre Dame wins a title, we'll see all his teams. And our last aloha from Patrick Wiltsey coming in. Go orange and blue. Lion Coffee, best stuff on earth. Go check this.
All right, so let's start bringing our people in.
Yes.
All right. Then we'll get back to what I want to do with this. We'll get our first two guests in, and then we'll get back to that. So let's bring our first two guests in, Mr. Kirkpatrick, if you want to bring them in. Okay. There's our first guest, our first two guests. And there he is. Obviously, my wife. I call her Jenny Hoops because she's Jenny Hoops. There he is, our pride and joy, Bo Valenti. And I got it, guys. I'm just going to say something to you. This dog is, guys, if you don't know, he's going to be 2 in September. He has already seen in his sports life 2 St. John's regular season Big East titles, 2 St. John's Big East tournament titles, a Bronco AFC West championship, an AFC championship game, an Eastern Conference final, an Eastern Conference championship, and now this guy, Kenny, has an NBA championship already, and he's not even 2 years old.
Simply, Jen, Bobolicious. Let's go. That's his name.
Real quick,
that's going to be his name from now on. Bobolicious.
Kenny, real quick, before we get, I just want to show you guys 2 things. This was last night, guys, so if you don't know, this was last night, Bo, in the car, patiently waiting, leaving, and this is about midnight to 1 a.m., we had him getting ready to go to Dick's. And I just want to show you one more little clip before we get to him of what we had him doing last night. Let me see if I can get this for you guys. I did this quick. And just watch this live at Dick's. Bo, only you would be out at Dick's at 1 a.m. This is Bo on his way, picking up championship gear. Yeah, Bo. Bo, give me a let's go Knicks, Bo. So, guys, that was Bo last night, live at Dick's. And so, you know what, Kenny? I talk with Jen all day. So, Kenny and Ryan, you hit it up with Jen. Jen, whatever you want to talk, whatever Bo says to you, you guys got the floor.
Well, Glenn Ashley, our friend from Australia, is saying, good morning, Jenny, Hoops, and Bo. Bo is the good luck charm.
Yeah.
Oh, we know it's not Kurt. It was 45 years since we got a Knicks championship with Kurt. Not even 2 years, Bo. So I think he is the good luck charm, Ryan. What do you say? I think he's the good luck charm.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, Kurt just rattled off his resume right there. I mean, it speaks for itself.
All right. So, you know what, Jen, just your thoughts on this team throughout the year. I mean, when did it start seeming different for you? Because I know when it seemed different for me, I know Kurt, but when did it start seeing this is different this year? This could be the year.
I gotta be honest. I am always cautiously optimistic. I don't know why
Somebody's echoing.
I'm echoing here. Is that
There
better?
you go. Yeah. Yep.
I was always cautiously optimistic with this team. Kurt will tell you that for sure. As adamant as he was that they were going to win it all, I never felt that way. Not that I didn't think they could do it. I definitely thought they could. You know, it's just that you know, NBA playoffs, like everybody comes, it's a new season, you know, so anything can happen. I think the turning point for me was after they got down against Atlanta in that series, quite honestly, because they just, I think the reality hit of what losing could be. And they remembered how heartbreaking last year was when we didn't come all this way to just come this far now and do less. And they just, Kurt and I were saying it all season long, right, Kurt? Like all business. This team was just all business. I mean, every time they took the floor, like there were no gimmicks. There was nothing. It was like you could just see it in their faces. You know, you could, when they would do announcements, like you could just see it in their faces. Like the job wasn't done until the job was done. And I think that's where their edge was over San Antonio, quite honestly. It's one thing to be confident and cocky, but not have been there before, you know, like that. I really feel like was the difference, you know, like we didn't celebrate after we won the Eastern Conference Championship, you know, like that was never the goal, you know, and, you know, I just feel like, I don't know, there was something special about this team for sure. There really was. And honestly, I just think it stems from the later leadership of Jalen Brunson. I really do. He set the tone. And I mean, Ryan, you said it perfectly. You know, I was texting that to people last night during the game. Like he literally has put this team on his back and is refusing to lose this game single-handedly. You know, you could talk about, you know, I didn't want to talk about it, but you talk about prior in this series, who's the MVP going to be for the Knicks? And Cat was thrown out and OG was thrown out. But you know what? Last night's game is how the Knicks should have won. You know, like Jalen Brunson has been the backbone of this team, and like that style of play last night, we needed that from him. He refused to lose, and it just, it was the perfect way, I feel like, for them to win, and he deserved that MVP award. Obviously, you know, we had other people contributing along the way, and we wouldn't have been there without them, but you put the culmination of not just this series, not just these playoffs, not just this season, but leading up to this moment, and we're here because of Jalen Brunson.
Awesome stuff, Jen. Ryan, you got one for Jen?
Yeah, what was the atmosphere in the house last night? I mean, were we listening to Mike Breen on full volume at the end? Was there a lot of screaming? You know, what was those final minutes like?
Ryan, that's a great question. And I'm sure Kurt has been very honest with you about his fandom and what it's like to watch a game with him. I gotta be honest, like, I was expecting him to be much worse. At the end of the game, he was very calm. I know that's shocking. Surround sound is on. You know, I was the one up and pacing and like yelling at the television. But Kurt, am I right, Kurt? Like you were very calm at the end until the final buzzer. But
yeah. All right, till the final buzzer. But let me ask you this: so if you guys don't know, in the sports room, and I got to show you guys, we decorate for the Knicks playoffs. Like I have little frames of every guy, like. we do it up, right? So everybody's there. As soon as that buzzer went off, I had a little moment. I gave Jen a hug, but I had a moment of a lot of years frustration. I think I actually was like pounding the ground a little, but then I got up and I grabbed one photo and I said, thank you to who? Who was it, Jen? Do you remember who it was?
Of course I remember. It was Leon Rose.
Leon Rose. I have a frame of Leon Rose, and I just said, Leon Rose, thank you for everything for putting this team together. And then I just did a fist pound. Remember, Jen? I fist pounded everybody on that team. Every frame I fist pounded.
Yeah, Ryan, I think I stood for the last full 2 minutes of the game and kind of paced around a little bit. That's it. That's what's the nice thing about watching it in the comfort of your home at our age. But yeah, no, it was in the first half, I'm going to back all the way up to the Atlanta series because don't deny this, Kurt. As much as he's loving Mike Brown, since then he was calling for the firing of Mike Brown.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
So it gets a little contentious for sure.
Listen, I was sending that to Milwaukee yesterday in the first half.
Yeah, exactly. He's telling people who's going to be packing up for Giannis. You're getting shipped out to Milwaukee. Every series it's a different player, but we have a villain. It wasn't just Wemby. I mean, obviously everybody, but I don't know. We really picked on Dylan Harper in our house. We really did. We really enjoyed picking on him. The Rutgers. I went to Rutgers, and I did nothing in college. That was kind of we kind of picked on him all series long too.
Well, Ryan, you would love this. You and Kenny would love this. My funniest comment yesterday, Jen. You have to laugh, and this has been since game 3. But yesterday, my funniest comment, I don't even know if Jen heard me, but I said, I have to find a congressman or senator in the state of New Jersey and New York because Adam Silver should be criminally charged with what he was doing, Adam Silver. I'm still at Adam Silver. That's for another day.
I got the text messages, corrupt. We were going back and forth, Kurt and I.
Absolutely. But no, listen, it's great to listen. I experienced it with Jen, obviously, experienced it with Bo. And I'm going to be honest, I made a call. I saw an Instagram post about 1:00 yesterday. And I said, wait a minute. I said, is this true? So I called Dixon Willowbrook about 2:00. And I said, will you guys be open? I said, are you guys going to have championship gear if the Knicks win tonight? And they answered me at 2:00 yesterday. He said, oh, we have it right now. If they win tonight, it will be out by midnight. So I said to Jen, no BS. We win. We're taking Bo to Dick's Sporting Goods. And we all made the pact that we're going. And we got there, about 1:00 in the morning? 12:30?
A little before that, yeah.
12:30, 1:00. We were there about an hour. I was trying to find shirts, but what an experience. And Bobo, I said it to him again. He got his first NBA championship this year. So that's it.
Bobo is just
enjoy it. Enjoy it,
Jen. Well deserved. Congratulations. It's been a long time coming, and I know we got another special guest coming up next that I'm sure you shared some words with him too, because I'm sure it was very special for both of you. So don't want to spoil it. So he'll be our next guest coming up, but I'm sure both of you had some nice words for each other as well. Bobo-licious. Right. See you later, buddy.
Thanks, guys. Enjoy. Good
Enjoy,
night.
Jen. Thanks.
Yeah.
All right. Before we bring our next guest in, guys, I wanted to do something. Thank you again for Jen bringing on. It was. Listen, it's such a great. Obviously, I get to watch the Knicks with her and get a championship with her. But even Bo, bringing Bo to Dick's, I was fired up to bring him in. I was like, let's go, let's get him. But before we do that, guys, I wanted to do 2 things. Well, one thing. I'll do one thing and I'll wait till our next guest is on. I want to do a toast. Okay, this is for. Like we mentioned, a lot of people. We mentioned a lot of years. Again, Kenny and I are older than you, Ryan. So we got a lot more heartache than you. But you know what? It's finally over. It's happened. It's done. We don't have no more curse. We don't have no more. There's not that we're going to have aggravation. We're always going to have aggravation. But boys, to the 2025-26 NBA champions, our New York Knicks.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Cheers. All right.
Let me add one more. Let me add one in. You just said, so we're going to put our drinks back up again. Kurt, you're going to have to take 2 sips of your beer tonight.
That's okay.
Reverse the curse, like you said. Get rid of the Charles Smith. Gets up and block. Remember that?
93.
On
93.
one of our first shows we did. Smith goes up, block. Smith goes up, block.
Yep.
Get rid of that. Get rid of the Ewing finger roll. We don't have to worry about that anymore in our back of our heads. The Elijah block on Starks, 3 of them. Cheers. Goodbye forever. Those are in the back of our head now. We got our championship.
There we go. All right. Let's bring in our next guest, Mr. Kirkpatrick.
Oh, let's bring our next guest in. Kurt, I hit something on my screen. Can you bring him in? I got it. I'm good. I got our next guest. I'm good. We're keeping it in the family for our next guest.
There he is.
Hey.
Well, hold on. First off, I don't know when you say there were good texts. There was probably a lot of bad texts going on before that. I don't know what's going on there, but no.
Kurt, introduce our guest.
Well, it's my brother-in-law, my great brother-in-law, Mr. Paul Mulvaney, Jen's brother. Obviously, and he's watched Bo in the past. So to see Bo, Paul, to see Bo so calm, how shocked are you just to see that? That's my first question. That was a little shocking.
Well, he got all the angst out of his system last night, probably. So now all you can do today is chill. I mean, and just soak in the win from last night. I still am kind of waiting. It still doesn't seem like it's real in a way because you guys were talking how old you are, and I'm older than you guys. So it's I kind of noted. You probably read it already on my Facebook. My first game was 1979, and so it's that's 47 years. It was my ride as a Knicks fan has been kind of interesting because as a 9-year-old, I went to that game with my dad. You always remember your first game, and we had his friend's seats, and he had season tickets that were right under the basket. They were fold out chairs, and you're literally right under the basket. And I just think as a kid, it was wow, this is pretty insane. But the thing is, back then, and we didn't have cable at that point, the NBA was in a serious state of decline, and games were broadcast on tape delay. They were coming on late. They're only on Channel 9. So it wasn't until we got cable and had Madison Square Garden Network that I could really take in that, those games on a somewhat daily basis. And from that point on, it was kind of watching the Bernard King years. I got my Bernard King jersey here.
Nice.
But yeah, and then heartbreak was sort of kind of went with the territory because Bernard King was this great player who played on a bad team, and when they drafted Patrick Ewing, Bernard King had already suffered a bad knee injury, and for 2 years, Bernard King and Patrick Ewing could not play together. And it was that was as a teenager, that was all I wanted to see. I'm I want to see Bernard King and Patrick Ewing on the floor at the same time. And it never happened. Then the Knicks had to get good again because when Ewing was a rookie in his first couple of years, they were bad, and they had the Patino years, and they built it up. They had the Riley years when in '94, I thought they were going to do it. They didn't. And then it kind of flatlined, got bad. I think there was one little blip on the radar was 2013 where they had a good year. Then there was a lot of bad years. Kurt was always the optimist. I was always the pessimist. I didn't see the ship turning, but you already referenced the front office and how they put these guys together. Literally, free agents didn't want to come here, and it was another common little joke we always had.
Yeah.
No, but that's everybody. Who wanted to go to the Yankees in 1989? Nobody.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So, but it was, I don't even know what the first turning point was. It could have even been like Julius Randle, because you got to consider the guys that they traded to get the people that came here. I was talking to my father today. I said getting R.J. Barrett in that draft when Zion was in it, getting the number 3 pick, like that was the best scenario. Now, what's
Here we
Zion
go.
done?
Yeah, well said.
What's John Morant done? R.J. Barrett got you OG Anunoby. Like you got to do your backwards math, but it all worked out. He brought in guys that somehow like they knew would be able to play well together. Having 3 guys that played together in college, certainly helped. But and no one knew what Brunson was going to be. I think they thought, he showed signs of being good. Did anyone think he was going to be great? I wasn't sure. Remember how long they went without even having like a true point guard? Remember when Emmanuel Mudiay was
forever.
I was thinking Frank Ntilikina. You said Amude.
Yeah.
That's a name that you forget.
Yeah.
Kurt, before we get some questions with Paul, just say a quick hello to Keith Brugman, our friend out there in Montana. Gentlemen, good evening. It's a New York state of mind. Congratulations. And he said that he was rooting for the Knicks since they went against Jordan and the Bulls. He was hurting with us all. Thanks, Keith, and congratulations as well. Kurt, I'll go first for Paul's question. I got a couple for Paul, but I'll ask a question I asked Jen first. And my first question for you, Paul, is when did you start thinking that this could be the year? This team is actually different, and it wasn't going to be the same old, get to the playoffs and then something happens, a bad tip, a bad injury, etc. When did this start feeling different for you?
Yeah, sort of. And it's crazy. I'll answer that question, but we're so conditioned to wait for failure. You're just waiting for the other shoe to drop. You're like, all right, well, that was good, but when's because the Knicks have been on this ride where they're good, they make the playoffs, but it feels like that second round, third round, someone's there, and whether it's Indiana or whoever, you're waiting for like I said, for something bad to happen. But it was that Atlanta series, because after losing the 2 games, everything, and it feels so long ago because of what's happened since, and right after that, it was the tide just changed when they started winning all these games by these huge margins. I was like, I kept saying the theme was, who is this team? Like, who are these guys? And they started blowing Atlanta and Cleveland and Philly by these 20-point wins, these 30-point wins, these absolute slaughters. I'm like, what is good? I was like, don't spoil me, please don't spoil me.
Yeah.
Well, but yeah, it was right. I felt like then I'm like, you know what? They're playing with a purpose. You never want to start getting too far ahead thinking who could they be facing in the finals. I just kind of one round at a time. But I was just in awe of how well they were playing.
Yeah. And Kurt said it best throughout the year. Me and him talk every day. Just get a 4 seed or better. And that means you have home court until, in the first rounds. And that's what it was. And the Knicks clinched every series on the road in the playoffs. So the home court, we saw how the Knicks fans travel. When you're a Knicks team that's doing well, Knicks fans are going to travel, and hats off to the Knicks fans out there. Congratulations, and well represented for sure. But I got another one I'm going to hold off. So I'm going to let Ryan and Kurt, if they want to ask you a question, but I got a fun one at the end for you, Paul. I'm going to hold off on. So Ryan, if you have something for Paul, and then Kurt, if you have something for Paul as well.
Well, all right. Yeah, I'll jump in. So going back with your fanhood, as long as it's gone, and being, through all these different eras that you've mentioned, how do you feel like the shape of the reputation of the Knicks around the league has changed, right? Because, we've had the Carmelo Anthony era was probably the most recent time you kind of had, respect for the Knicks in the league. But, LeBron, are we going to get LeBron? Are we not going to get LeBron? He spurns them, right? Melo leaves, we've fallen into this dark age. What does it feel like for you kind of just seeing, the reputation of the team, in the Brunson era just be, the Knicks are not a team to be laughing at, right? They've been consistent playoff contenders. We said in one of our shows, I think it was before the Philly series, we were reading a stat that said that the Knicks were the only team in the league that got out of the first round back-to-back years, I think, or 3 years in a row or something like that. There was a crazy stat where, what a turnaround for this franchise over the past, couple of years. What's that like for you?
It's nice to see the transition. And I think even watching some of the announcers on television, like the Barkley crew and that, they're whistling a little bit of a different tune because it's always easy to kick a guy when he's down or a bad team. They're easy to make fun of, but you can tell that respect factor that's going on. I am so superstitious too, but especially for last night's game, I didn't want to hear any sports talk radio. I didn't want to hear people making predictions. The first thing Barkley said at the halftime of last night's game was that the Knicks are going to be crowned champions tonight. I was like, oh God, I turn the TV off. I will tune back in 10 minutes. But no, I think the league is they're gonna now you got to respect the guy who has the title, and I think that certainly is the feeling now. And having seen them go from that lottery team in 1985 to this is you've, like I said, you've just seen every scenario possible in the the 40 whatever years.
Yeah, we had a Josh Hart tweet. Sorry, just a Josh Hart tweet from around midnight last night. He said, "From now on, address me as a champ." And I think that kind of sums that one up pretty well.
Yeah. Kurt, I'm going to give this one to Paul from Keith Brugman. You can answer this quick if you want, Paul.
Yeah.
In the end, how did you feel about the officiating in the finals, Paul?
It was frustrating, maybe putting it mildly, but yeah, it's I don't get it. It's the challenging thing can get real annoying sometimes. I feel like Wembanyama was just getting a lot of favoritism, and at the same time, you're watching Brunson, who's a smaller guy. I feel like when does Brunson go in for a layup and not get he's always falling down. I'm not saying he's getting fouled every time, but you've seen he's a little guy. He's 6'1", and the beating he takes out there when you think about it. And now that they've completed a whole season in the playoffs, it's pretty amazing. And we've seen him, hobble around, and the guy just shakes it off, and he's so focused, and it so does not faze him. I mean, thank God there were no serious injuries. But I feel I don't know. It just felt like with the Spurs, there was a little bit of I felt like some of the stuff that happened to the Knicks, they turned their head, and I felt like every time it was Wembanyama, it was well, let's we don't want him to get too many fouls. Let's challenge that and overturn it. It seemed almost every time they would overturn it. The guy never had more than 2 fouls, it seemed, but I don't know. I'm a little biased, so that's a toughie. But I think a lot of people, I think others felt that way.
I felt that way too, Paul. I'm okay with letting them play, but I'm not okay when somebody's getting away with flagrant fouls because he'll be suspended for the next game. That's what I was not okay with. And there was definitely at least 2 or 3 of them that they could have called on him for a flagrant. And when Richard Jefferson, of all people, is calling out the referees who hates the Knicks, then something's up.
Exactly. When the Nets were good, and when he was playing with Kidd, the Knicks were really bad back then. And those Byron Scott, Jason Kidd, Richard Jefferson Nets, they like to really look at. They were totally sticking it to the Knicks back then. I remember in the newspaper. I remember just fuming reading all the quotes back then.
Kurt, you got one for Paul? Because I do have a fun one for him to wrap it up with.
My last one, obviously, he's a big-time Yankee fan. He's seen a lot of championships.
You got the same question as me, maybe.
Where do you rank this champion?
Okay, no, I don't. It's a little different.
Wow. It's so unique because, every sport is different. The thing that stands out about this, what the Knicks did, is the way they did it. I mean, it was like this combination of them kind of steamrolling through the East, and we knew San Antonio would be tougher, but they would like the pattern was just eerily similar every game. It was like take a beating. It was like a Rocky movie. It was like take a beating in the first round, get knocked down, get up, and then find a way to win. And then, I don't know, when San Antonio had their starting five out there, they played great defense in the first quarter, and they really made it hard for the Knicks to score baskets. They weren't even scoring from inside the paint hardly at all in the first quarter last night. Somehow, I don't know whether it was, if the inexperience of the Spurs may have played a factor. I don't know if the stamina of them being young and maybe they're getting tired, but the Knicks would just find a way to sort of crack the code, especially if Wembanyama was resting, because I know I'm saying, all right, he's on the bench, like find a way to rattle off 8 straight points here or something, but they just kept finding ways to get back in those games. So are you asking me how it compares to like the run of the Yankee teams of the 90s?
Yeah.
What this reminds me a little bit more of the 96 Yankees, because I guess because of the gap. And the 96 Yankees weren't like a powerhouse team. I wouldn't say they were like a Cinderella underdog. They were a team that was making the steps to get there. But I think, the only fair way I can compare is that this Knicks championship reminds me more of that 96 Yankee team, because they hadn't been there in so long, and they were just kind of finding a way they were definitely sort of the underdog coming in, and they're kind of hanging out or hanging in there with the, in the Yankees case, it was the Braves, and the Knicks hanging in there with the Spurs. Those other Yankee teams by '98, they were like a powerhouse, and I don't want to say like they were expected to win, but they were just like just blowing through people left and right, and they were a dominant team at that point, So I can really only, and I feel that way because like I love the '86 Giants, and I felt like that was a powerhouse team. I didn't know if this was a powerhouse team coming into the playoffs. I said, but like I knew they were good, but I really didn't know how good. And it seems like when this group of players on the Knicks was tested, it was just like they were always ready to answer the bell. And that's what I remember the most about this run. But I think it's I don't know if I could say if it was the best or this or that, but it's one of the most special because of the time frame. And I really was doubtful if I was going to live to see it.
Yeah, my similar question, Paul, you don't have to, it was going to be, were you more excited for the 1996 Yankees World Series, which was with Joe Torre, or this Knicks championship yesterday? Which one were you more excited for? I thought they're both right there. I think for me, it would have been maybe because of my age, being just out of high school and younger, maybe yesterday could have been maybe a little more exciting because, like you just said, I didn't know if I was ever going to see it. Yeah,
I think that might be the little separation factor. And you've seen the Knicks fail so many times. Like with the Yankees, I saw 77 and 78. I was young, but I remember. So yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's just special the way they did it, and it's. I don't know how else to describe it,
Yeah. Yeah. Kurt, anything for Paul?
I am good. We will celebrate soon.
Definitely.
And you said it. I know you said it in the chat, so I'm going to cheers you, Paul. Congratulations.
Yeah,
I know you sent the picture yesterday. You had that champagne. I loved it. Great picture celebrating with the champagne. So congratulations, Paul. Let's hope we do this again next year.
That'd be awesome. Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, boys. Mr. Paul Mulvaney. Let's go.
Thanks, Paul.
All right. Before we get to our next guest, I want to go over a couple of things with you guys, okay? Because we still with a panel. We still got to go over a couple of questions. I'm going to start with Ryan, and I want your honest opinion. Not your honest opinion. The honest truth. When were you nervous? Two-part question. When were you nervous in the playoffs? Were you nervous before the finals at any point? And then in the finals, were you nervous at all?
I think everybody's going to go to that Hawks series, right? I think that's the obvious answer for getting nervous in the first round. It's come up from both of our guests. I'm sure it'll come up from the both of you as well. You know, losing game 3 at home, it didn't. I didn't love to see it. It still hurt. It still stung a little bit, but you still felt good about the team. When they were down big in game 4, they just looked flat. You know, those other games that they came back, they're still hitting their shots here and there. They just looked so flat in game 4. I think that was the moment I started to get a little bit nervous that, you know what, we're going to have a best of 3 on our hands here. You know, and then all of a sudden, you know, the charge came again late. We saw that magic again. The Anunoby tip, I mean, like, that's going to live on in Knicks history forever.
Yeah.
But I got to say, in that game, I started to say, wow, you know, the Spurs got confidence here. The Spurs got momentum here. And just as quickly as they gained it, they lost it, you know, because how could you say, you know, you came back from a 29-point, you know, you blew a 29-point lead, but we're going to go back there. We're going to go get the next, you know, the next 3. I mean, you can't, you know, that was really a gut punch to them. So as much as we were worried, as much as we were sitting there saying, what's going on? Kurt, you know, talked about the Giannis text. I got a couple of those from Kurt that night, you know, going back and forth. And I said, oh, man, this really felt like the window. Now I'm starting to get a little nervous here. What are we going to do? We don't have home court advantage in this best of 3. That might hurt. You know, the refs definitely weren't on our side. But, hey, we didn't have to worry about it after that. They came back. They won that game. We're up 3-1. And then I think everybody was able to kind of take a deep breath. There were some moments last night, but, you know.
I want to get the official text because I got to find it. So when they're down huge Wednesday night, he texts me, well, don't like this at all. None of it. I said, disgusting. Mike Brown's getting schooled. Then Ryan's comment is, don't even know how to respond. My answer to that, go get Giannis. That's how to respond. And I'm going to be honest, like, I'll answer this question before I get to you, Kenny. It was that game 4 of Atlanta when I was, and that's when Jen and I went, and Mike and Joey went to the watch party, because not only about you lose that series, right? I mean, we talked a bit about it all year, right? I don't want to hear about the Fugazi Detroit Pistons and just stop. The East, we should have blew through this East. Blow through it. You want to say us in Boston? All right, give us a 7-game series. Give it to us. But nobody else scares you. And you're down 2-1, and you blow a big lead in that game at the Garden. And it's not like, okay, the playoffs are over and you got next year. There would have been like Mike Brown was not coming back if they lost that series. Giannis would have been a Knick. And I'm going to be honest, it could have been everybody but they would have gotten Giannis. Like, that's how bad it would have been. So when you say nervous, it was like, you know, like nervous, like, yeah, you're going to be out, but also nervous of like everything you've built is going to get blown up, because it would have got blown up. Now, looking forward to, like Ryan was saying, of Wednesday night. The Monday night was like house money, right? Like, yeah, you wanted to be up 3-0, but I was never like nervous, because it's like, okay, again, worst comes to worst, get 3-1. Now you got to go back. You know, you got to win 1 out of 3. And you're down 29 points and 27, like, and I'm just sitting there like this is going to be 2-2. And now everything we gained in San Antonio, now it's best of 3 on the road for 2, and a team that, you know, just beat you 2 in a row in your building. And I'm not going to lie, I was nervous. You know, like, I was nervous on that game. And then when I just, you know, and you sit there and you see the comeback and whatever, and I'm going to be honest, like, I was never like nervous yesterday. I'm not going to lie. If there was a game 6, I might have been the nervous I've ever watched a sport in my life, because I do not want to play a game 7 in somebody else's building. I know it changed. I don't want to deal with that. And I would want no part of that. So I think we would have had a win Tuesday night. So I didn't want that. But just knowing the feeling, you know, like I was listening to a bunch of I was opposite of Paul. I was listening to a lot of shows Saturday morning. And Don Grassa like made a great point where he said, This is the best case scenario you could have as a Knicks fan. You could be a world champion tonight, but if you lose, you go play Tuesday at home. And you know what? When you think about it, you're like, yeah, you know what? That's true. So you're always nervous, and then you get down and you're just like, all right, if worst comes to worst, we get him at home. But you know what? Like, you just had that feeling that run's coming. And just like Jen said, like, Brunson was just like, you know what? I'm ending this thing tonight. So those were the only 2 times in the whole playoff series I was nervous. Kenny, what about you?
Real quick, let me just get a couple of these comments in. Patrick has family in San Antonio. Ghost town last night. Everyone in mourning. Good job. Let's go, Knicks. Glenn Ashley with a couple good comments I want to read. I genuinely think the build was over 4 years for the Knicks. Needed to drop a few to Miami and others to fuel the run. And for those wrestling fans, Danhausen uncursed them too, laughing out loud.
He did.
And then he says, next year's going to be interesting. And we'll get to this in a future show.
Yep.
But he says, I think Giannis will end up in Miami or Boston, which creates a real rivalry battle in the playoffs. Get the popcorn. Okay. We'll see where Giannis is going to go. He's going to go somewhere. But that's a future show for sure. Thanks, Glenn.
Yep.
For me, Kurt, we spoke. Was there, I'm not going to lie, was there a little nervousness? Yes, when we're down 2-1, but not as nervous as you. I said, we'll be all right. This Hawks team, they overachieved. We got way too much more talent than them. They got lucky with that comeback. I don't see us losing this series, but I was a little nervous. I'm not going to lie. If I got to pick out a spot where I was nervous, yeah, I'm with you guys. I was nervous with the Hawks, and yes, nervous with down 27 at half, 76-49 at half, but lightning will strike me dead right now if I'm lying. I was texting Paul Rosen during the second half, and when they came out 3-4 seconds, 5 seconds into their possessions, the Spurs, and started shooting the threes, my text message to him, they're letting the Knicks back in this game. We're going to come back. Did I think we could come back and win? Yes, I did. I didn't care. They were saying biggest comeback ever because Ryan and Kurt, you saw it. All they kept doing, dribble, 5-6 seconds into the possession, bricking a three. Letting the Knicks right back in the game. There was no take the possession, post down low, Wembanyama. It wasn't happening. They were shooting threes left and right, and they went ice cold in the second half. Let the Knicks come back. We had the greatest comeback in NBA playoffs history. End of story. Those were the 2 that I was somewhat nervous about, like you guys. But like I said, I got the text message. I could pull it up from Paul that the Knicks were getting put right back in this game thanks to the Spurs, possessions.
Before we bring in Mark, we're going to give the backstory about Mark, me and you, Kenny. But I want one more thing I want to get to, and I'm going to come to Ryan on this. Jalen Brunson, not only is he our captain, is he the best point guard in the league or whatever. What people have to understand is what this guy did by leaving, what was it, $114 million or something to that point. Yep. I was half joking with Jen today, but I wasn't. Like, you should have like LaMelo Ball, De'Aaron Fox, like all these guys that are, I got to get max money, and they should just be tomorrow putting money in a suitcase and handing it back to their executives saying, I apologize and take this money back, because that shows what this guy is truly about, right? He wants a win. And look how smart he is. He was the guy, right? Not LeBron, not that fraud, not KD, not Kyrie, not these guys that were, and look how stupid those guys are too. They could never win here. And they're still about money and max deals. And this guy took and said, no, I'm not going to take my max. I'm going to leave money on the table. Go get Mikal Bridges. Go get, or whoever it was at the time. Go build that team. And if I win in New York, it's never going to be about money. I mean, this guy, like, there's going to be a statue of him. Seriously, there's going to be a statue of him. And just look how smart, like, what he did. And like, other players should now do that. Listen, hopefully for us, I hope they don't let these people sign stupid contracts like Jalen Duren. He's going to sign a max contract. Listen, I'm going to go crazy with this. He couldn't play against the Orlando Magic. They couldn't play him, but they want to give him max money. Please, Pistons, give him max money. Stupid. I'm going to be honest. I don't even know if he would be in our rotation, but they're going to give him max money? Yeah. He stinks. And the other thing that bothers me, I'm going to get fired up because Mark's coming in. The other thing that fires me up, all these players are going to come after the Knicks. Jaylen Brown, wait till we play the Knicks. Well, Jaylen Brown ain't going to be with the Celtics because they're trying to trade him. So maybe he'll be in Memphis or somewhere. So he's crying. The Pistons want us. They can't beat the Orlando Magic. They would have got knocked out if what's his name? What's the hell's the guy's name? The guy that got hurt for them. The brother. Wagner.
Yep.
Wagner.
Friends Wagner.
Seriously, the first time they can make an outside jump shot, I mean, it's like they're shooting with 14 defenders. All these guys want to come play against the Knicks, but then when they play them, what happens? The Boston Celtics, wait till we get the Knicks. Get the Knicks. You got destroyed in Game 7 in your own building against Embiid. He can't even jog off up the court. They shoot 87 free throws. Like, bring it. I don't care what they do. Well, you know what? Here's my spoiler. We're going to blow through the East next year. I think personally, it's going to be us in San Antonio again. I do. Am I crazy, Ryan?
No, and I think combining both of your points and Kenny's points, I think something to hit on too. You saw the growing pains from the Spurs. They're our young team. I think they had a great regular season, but you saw, Dylan Harper's young. All these guys, Wemby's obviously young. You saw a lot of mistakes, even on the coaching side. And I think it really makes me think back to these two Pacers series we lost back-to-back years. And I think, they hurt. The losses really, really hurt, especially last year watching Halliburton out there. But you know what? That combined our growing pains as a team with, the coaching side of it too. Looking at Thibodeau, I respect what he did. He got us to where we needed to get. Mike Brown took us all the way. But you know what? He played those guys. He played Josh Hart in that one Pacers series because they were so banged up. 48 minutes in one of the games. It was an overtime game. I forget. It was 2 years ago, one of the overtime games. He started the second half. He didn't sit. He played the third quarter, the fourth quarter, and the full overtime, right? So look at Mitchell Robinson this year. Could we have won 3 more regular season games if he didn't sit it back-to-back? Sure. Maybe we could have, right? But we played the long game. So not only did we have our growing pains, losing these series from an adversity standpoint, but we also sat there and said, you know what? What's most important here? It's the finals. It's the playoffs. It's getting to the finals, right? So I think they prioritize that. And it's kind of funny looking at it. It's easier to see looking at this Spurs team and how talented they are. Nobody ever denied their talent, right? But it was the coaching decisions and it was some of the inexperience that really made them fall short.
Yep. Now, one more thing, Ryan, because Ryan got me fired up. I want one more thing, Mr. Kirkpatrick. I want one more thing. In October, when it's opening night, when that banner falls,
we're going?
No, I want one team.
You should have said, yeah, but
who do you want in that building?
When the banner's coming down?
What?
Who do you want?
What team I want to be playing? I want the biggest frauds of all. I want the Indiana Pacers in that building. I want that fraud. I want that fraud bench. I want that fraud Halliburton and that fraud coach and all those guys. I want them all.
Front row seats.
Front row seats. Put them in that building and blow their doors off because that's what I want. Anybody else would you want, Ryan, or you want the Pacers too?
I like that. I like that idea.
You like that?
I like that idea. Give me LeBron. Probably going to be his last year next year. Bring him in. Wherever he goes, bring him in for the banner drop.
All right, so
let him show him what it could have been for him in New York if he came to New York and won one. Real quick, I want to get to one hello, but I do want to shout out one more guy because we've been mentioning how young, like Patrick just says, Spurs cannot play a 48-minute game. Dylan Harper, chance to be a great pro, 20 years old, but how did they not even make the tournament at Rutgers with Dylan Harper and the other guy?
I said it
That
all.
being said, I got to shout out Jay Wright, man, because Jay Wright, the Villanova Knicks, we call him, Josh Hart, Mirages, and of course our captain, MVP, Jalen Brunson and Dante DiVincenzo as well. But Jay Wright coached them up. And you saw Josh Hart hug him. Jay Wright was at one of the games. So thank you, Jay Wright, for bringing these guys together. And
Good
then
call.
thank you, Leon Rose, for bringing them all to the Knicks, because they weren't drafted by the Knicks. Leon Rose brought them all in, whether it was through trade or free agency. Our good friend, we'll get Mark in. Trevor Salzman coming in. What's up, boys? Trevor's out there in Colorado. Nugget fan, but he's congratulating us. Big congratulations to the city of New York and New York Knicks fans. Enjoy this. It's hard to repeat. That being said, the Knicks starting five is going to be back. They will be the ones being chased.
Yeah.
Hey, when you're the champs, you will be chased, and you're going to have a target on your back. And we'll worry about that in a few months when the season's ready to start. But we're going to celebrate this one for a little while with the parade. Will be Thursday, by the way, boys.
Yes,
parade
sir.
will be Thursdays.
All right, so let's get the backstory. So obviously, listen, Mark, we grew up with, great friend Ryan. I got to tell you a couple funny things about this. So Mark, obviously, when we were in high school, the 92, 93, 94, all those seasons, he was part of the masses. He was part of all that stuff, part of all the heartache with the losses. So last year, I said, you know what? We always do the freezer, right, Kenny? I said, this year, we're doing all business. No freezer. We're not playing games. We're switching it up. And then I'm very superstitious. So I didn't hear from Mark in the first couple of rounds. We start getting hot. I said, Kenny, I am not taking a call from Mark. I'm not answering a text. Jen's like, he's going to think you're mad. No, don't care. We got to get this done. We'll deal with him when we win it. So the first person I called last night, I might have been Kenny, but I called Mark and I said, Mark, now we're back. So not that it was just, that's just how I am superstitious. I can give you 1,000 superstitions that I've been doing. Everything I've been doing. If I've cut a slice of pizza, I had to cut everything in 4 because we need 4 wins. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how I am.
I'll go bring him in. There he
is. There he is.
How are you guys?
All right, hold on. Kenny, make me big for this for real quick.
Oh, yep. He wanted to be big for something.
I want to be big, and I waited for Mark for this. Okay. So I gave Ryan Miller a job, but I didn't know if he was going to do it or not. I totally forgot about it. Well, you know what? I came prepared. And you know what, Mark? This is for all of us Knicks fans. And Mark, you go way back. The mass.
Yes.
The freezer.
Oh,
you know what? We didn't get this in 94. We didn't get it in 93. We didn't get it in 94. We didn't get it in 99. But you know what? Yeah, we're going to get it on Thursday. But I'm getting it tonight. You know what I'm getting tonight, boys?
There we go.
There it is. There it is.
That's it.
I hope Jen's up to help me clean this up.
That's all you, buddy.
Better hope Bo don't get on that.
There's the confetti. I had to buy felt this morning at Michael's to do this.
Oh, God.
How to do it.
There it is.
Okay, let's put Mark back.
What's up, you guys? How are you?
Mark, I'm good. Good, Mark.
Great.
I'm going to ask you the question I asked everybody else. When did this team start feeling different for you? That we can win it this year?
It started probably like before almost like the playoffs. Like I knew I had a feeling. I'm like, they started gelling. In the beginning of the year, they weren't gelling. You know, like Kurt was saying, get rid of this guy. Coach is going because he's not doing this. Like I said, he's not Thibodeau, obviously, because, you know, he was all about defense, right? And stuff, because he really didn't score. They didn't even score 100 points or whatever for a long time. But now, I'm just speechless. I am, because it's been a long time. Like Kurt said, a long time. Freaking ceremonies, everything. Then we have to worry about Keith and Kevin ripping us because of Bulls. I was getting all upset about that. Hey,
Been a
because we
long
played
time.
baseball together, and and they kept on rubbing it in. You know that, Kurt.
Ryan, I'm not gonna lie. Like he's saying, like two of our, like they were twins and good, great friends with us. And like, I'm not lying. Me and Mark didn't want to go to school. Like, we're like, we gotta go to baseball. We gotta deal with this guy. The Bulls beat us again. Like, we gotta hear this garbage in school.
Kevin
Like,
Verrilli, another one of our
right,
favorite
Verrilli.
friends.
God.
Yeah, like we had to deal with this. This was real life. Like, I'm staying home. Like, how am
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was a nightmare. But you know what, Mark? We got it done, man. And like, you look back and I don't know how Ryan feels. Again, Nick, he's younger, but obviously I'm a diehard Bronco fan. And listen, that was big and that Super Bowl. But this team, like with the Knicks, like, and I don't know, I always say this, I always talk with Jen about this. I think it's just like how it is. Like football, it's like once a week. It's like
Yeah.
when you get a game in game 7, it's like aggravation after aggravation. Belief. All right, I believe. Aggravation. And for how many years? And you're just like, I'm telling my blood pressure the other night in game 3 in that first half. I'm not even joking around. If I probably if I had a thing on myself, I would have probably, like, someone would have been like, you might need assistance. Like I felt myself like gonna burst because I just felt like we had to get this championship. Just like Ryan said, the Spurs are no joke, man. They're gonna be good. They're gonna be good. Like you don't know what else is gonna happen. Like where Giannis is gonna go if he does go to Boston. Like, and it's like this is like our chance. We cannot F around. Like we have to win this right now.
Yep.
And to get it, it's just like I'm not like when I swear to God, like I feel so different today as a Knicks fan. I don't know how you guys. I just feel so different. Like, oh my God, like everything's lifted. Like,
Hey, Kurt, after that 20, they were down by 27 or 29. I literally almost I had to get a new TV almost because I keep on at it.
I
And
forgot
Kurt, like I said, I got one. Like I said, my arm's not as good, but like I said, I get that one good throw. And thank God I missed. But I'm like, holy crap! I'm like, oh my God, I should have done that. But I watched that. I think I woke up my son Mark because he was sleeping. He's like, why are you yelling? I'm like, we just won. And he was like, I gotta go to bed. I'm like, yeah, no, I gotta go to work too. So
go to work. Mark says to me last night, I got to go to work. I said, don't just function, just be there. Who cares? Go up
Dude,
there and that's it.
exactly.
I did not fall asleep until 4 o'clock. I had to get up at 6. So and I did, and I'm like running on fumes right now. Thank God for the code red. Mountain Dew.
Kurt, I got a couple comments. Another question from the audience, and we'll all answer that one. But Glenn wants you to bring back the Freezer show, put all the opposition in. He said that because I told him, I said about your superstition, not talking to Mark. The superstitions are real, he says.
I said to Mark, I said to Kenny, if I accidentally hit this phone and answer it, I'm gonna blow everything. Then said to me, Kurt, just answer the phone. Tell him you'll talk. No, I'm not doing anything different. Nothing
I
different.
did the same
Nothing.
thing last night when he called me. I called Mark too. So the superstitions are real.
But the funny thing was, it wasn't even game time. At least I called you at like 3 hours earlier.
Nope.
Look at Kurt. Nope.
Kurt, I'm going to let you answer this one from Keith. Where does this team fall in Nick lore?
I'm sorry, Nick.
You.
I mean,
yeah.
Listen to me. How can you say, listen, the 69, the 70, 69, 70, the 73, they won 2 titles, right? It was mainly the same guys, and then you added, Monroe later on. But I mean,
Earl the Pearl. Don't forget him.
That's what I'm saying. But look at what you guys look at what this team has done. Like Ryan said it before, like nothing shorter than a second round, right? And now you get to an Eastern Conference final and you blow the East out this year. You just blow it out. Like, I'm sorry, this might be the best team. This is the best team I've ever seen. Yeah. Like talent-wise, it 100% is. And I love that 90 team. Like, I love that 90 team, but they didn't have guys like, they didn't, I don't know. I'm going to say it's the best team I've 100% seen, and I'm going to put it's the second best team behind that 69, 70, 73 team right now until they get another title.
Nice. I'm gonna ask this one for Mark first, and then everybody else. And I'm gonna put you three on the spot right now with Trevor. Are you guys going to the championship parade? That should be a designated day off for you all. Mark, are you going to the parade on Thursday?
I can't. I can't. I'll be there in
Ryan,
spirit.
are you going to the parade on Thursday? You get all being put on the spot.
I called off. I sent in online to call off work last night at about 1 a.m. to celebrate, and I said, the mayor tweeted out, the parade was going to be Thursday. I got on my phone. I called out for Thursday. I'm going to be there.
Let's go. Now now I get to put my man on the spot.
Well, first off,
one of the biggest diehard Knicks fans you'll ever see in your life all around the country. Are you going to the Knicks parade Thursday?
Well, let me answer. I'm going to answer a couple of different ways. Number one, I 100%. See, I'm a little different than Ryan because Ryan's a teacher and I'm a 12-month employee, so we have vacation. So that day was off already. I'm off already. That day was going to be off no matter what when the parade was going to be. So there's I got to put in a request. I'm off. I had off already, but it just fell that it was Tuesday. But if the parade was tomorrow, I was going to be off tomorrow. So I didn't have to request anything. That's the one thing nice. Ryan has all summer home, but that's a nice thing. I don't have to request anything. I'm putting in a vacation day. That's it. Vacation done. No need to get anything approved. Now, I will be watching it at home. I am going to be watching. No. I am going to be watching it at home. And I'm going to be honest. Listen, would I love to go to the parade? I would, but I just think, I don't know. It's going to be nuts. Like, I just don't know if I can do that. Jen can't get off. That's the problem. She cannot get off because she's teaching. She's kind of like Ryan, but they have something on Thursday, a moving up ceremony or whatever, where she can't get off. So like, I don't know. I think me and Bo are going to sit back, relax, enjoy. Now I do want Ryan. Ryan, I'm going to put you on one more spot you know what?
Yeah.
Put Ryan on the big screen. I want Ryan on the big screen. Okay.
All right. What do we got?
Kenny, since Ryan did not come through with my confetti tonight, correct? Let's be honest.
You want some confetti from the parade?
I want confetti from the parade. Will you be able to do that for me?
You got it, Kurt.
Okay. I want a nice amount. I want to put it somewhere, and I want to put it in the sports room.
There we go.
Then we're even.
All right.
Okay. But no, listen to me. I will get up that morning. I'll have to go get my whatever newspapers first off, the amount of money I have spent in the past, I don't want to tell you how much I spent at Dick's last night, sporting goods. But even like on newspapers, oh my God. Like I got a stack of newspapers like this on the kitchen table. Jen said, "You want to go through them?" I said, "Go through them. I need like a couple of weeks to go through them. I got to see what I'm going to keep or whatever." I bought 5 New York Post today and 5 Daily Newses. I spent about 20 something dollars today on just newspapers. But anyway, so
I still have newspapers.
Hey, I got the Post too.
What are you?
Hey, I'm with you, Kurt. I went out and got 3 copies of the Post.
Exactly. Come on.
Real quick.
Wait, they don't have newspapers in Maryland, Kenny?
A new face, a Sixers fan, but the Knicks deserve this from Big V South Philly 215. Thank you, Big V
Now,
South Philly 215.
I will say this. I'm going to say this about the Sixers. Out of all the teams we faced, especially in the East, they scared me the most because, see, when you look at this is where, like, when I say the fraud team, like the Atlantas and the Detroits, let them play hard in the regular season. What's the guy's name?
Cunningham?
Bernie
Dyson.
Bickerstaff.
No, Dyson. What's his name?
Dyson.
Okay.
He's gonna go and say he wants a max contract. Like, stop. Like, come on. Like, he doesn't scare me. CJ McCullough. You look at the Pistons. Let's go through. We don't have to go through those guys. those guys, that they don't scare me at all. I don't care if they win 70 games. They'll never beat us in a playoff series. The Sixers, though, because you get to the part of the Sixers get into the Embiid and Maxey, because as much as you guys want to say, it's still a star-studded league, right? Like you need stars to win. You really do. Like Brunson was a star. Brunson was basically yesterday, go ahead, Brunson, go get us a basket. But he's a superstar. That's what it was. It's not, okay, let's draw plays for Landry Shamet. That's not really what happened yesterday.
Hey, Kurt, don't forget about George too, because
Paul George. So,
yeah.
like that Philly team, like again, and Edgecombe, like that team was honestly that was the most talented team besides the Spurs. That was the most talented team we played.
Yep.
We knew Cleveland was soft. So,
yeah. No, I agree, Kurt. I was just gonna say I'm curious to see how many teams, Ryan, Mark, Big South, Big V South. I'm curious to see how many teams try and take this Knicks approach. You got your star, you got your couple players that are all-stars right behind them. You got your superstar all-stars, and build a bench. Build a bench, because that was the Sixers' problem, in my opinion. They had no bench.
Sure.
Right.
And you know, and you know, the Knicks had a bench, you know, and I think that got to give the bench big credit for the Knicks' success this year, and definitely in the playoffs. But build a bench. Sixers going to be a little dangerous team, Big V. And thanks for hopping on. Appreciate you coming in, saying hello. Appreciate it.
So Mark, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I am going to make myself. Ryan, do you remember the story last time about what I said about a playoff mix? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I'm going to make now that playoff mix will never get added. That's, I think, 21 songs. It's all kinds of messed up songs, but that's the Knick playoff mix. But Mark, going back when we were 92, 93, 94, what songs did we always used to play playoff time?
Oh, come on, Kurt. Oh, Jesus. Oh.
Kurt's asking about things that happened 35 years ago.
Mark,
like we're supposed
we
to
played
remember.
this song 190 times a week in the Grand Dam. What was it?
It was I'm so weak in the knees.
By SWV. So I am gonna make the Knicks mix of just every song that ever reminded me of Knicks.
Oh my God.
Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Yeah.
REO Speedwagon.
Speedwagon.
Speedwagon. And then I'll get some new stuff. But that's what we're gonna do. But you know what, Mark? We sit back and we laugh, but you know what? We were talking about today. We mentioned it to Ryan. Obviously, Ryan doesn't know her, but Kenny, what do you think Clem's doing up top? Do you think Clem was dancing up top saying she finally got that championship and Clem up there? What do you think? After going through all the masses, the freezing. What do you think?
Shaw, she's doing cartwheels.
I mean, come on. How much
having
fun
to deal
is
with Kurt Valenti in his early 20s.
Oh.
Clem's probably dancing with Anthony Mason. He probably
you guys got,
Mace probably took her out for a dance.
Very nice.
So,
oh man,
all right, Mark, give me some final thoughts. Give me anything final.
I'm so proud of these guys. What these guys did, man. They did not give in to the Spurs and stuff like Wembley with cheap shots, this and that. They stayed their composure, and then, you know what? They just, all right, you know, it didn't let them bother them. Back in the day, like like Oakley or something, yeah, it would have bothered them, and it would have been a lot of fouls called or a lot of ejections, just like in the Miami game that 1 year and stuff like that. But I'm so excited. For all of them, Jalen Brunson. Oh yeah, Becky Hammond. Whatever. Oh, he needs. Did you hear that one, Kurt?
Yep, he's too small.
Yeah, he's too small. He's not a 1A. But Perk goes. Oh yeah, he is a 1A. No, he's not. He's small. And look at now, Perks is probably laughing right now and saying, "Yeah, that's big bad Brunson right there, man." Yeah. Sorry to say that, but I'm so excited, man. I'm like happy. Now I just need to go to sleep and wake up for work tomorrow.
Well, enjoy it, man. Enjoy it.
Oh, yeah, it's been fun, man. Oh, gosh. I'm just too excited, man. I'm just, like I said, let's go. Now we got to worry about Michigan, and hopefully the Mets will. Not gonna see the Mets win World Series. The last time they won was '86. So I was small yet. My grandma saw them win. So the last time the Mets won a World Series was 2000. But that's another story. But I don't know about this year, man. They're doing really horrible. So, but
All right, Mark.
oh,
Thank you very much.
thanks, guys.
Mark.
Appreciate it, man.
You're the
Enjoy.
man.
Go
You're the
Knicks,
man.
baby.
Now we can
Go,
talk.
Nick. Take care, guys. Yeah.
See you, Mark.
Bye
There
bye.
he is, Mark Calderio. All right, guys, let's do this. I want to do a couple. You guys have Ryan. You have a little couple more minutes or no?
Yeah, I got one question if I could throw to you guys, if you don't
Sure.
mind. So, don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves here, but, so one of the commenters mentioned, the starting lineup is all under contract for next year. The bench was strong all year, but, some of those guys are free agents. Who to you guys is the most important guy off the bench to keep on this team for next year?
Want me to go
Who wants
first?
to go
Kurt?
first?
Yeah, you go first.
Man, what I saw, it's got to be Jose Alvarado. It's got to be, because we saw Mike Brown when he put him in that game, that the comeback, and what Mike Brown said after the game in his press conference about him. He just started clapping, and let's give it up for Jose Alvarado. That's got to be the guy, because I feel confident in him too, Ryan, that if Brunson went down for a couple games, needed some rest, minor injuries, out for a couple weeks, I can count on Jose Alvarado with the ones. It's got to be Jose Alvarado for me.
Kurt?
You know what? I've always said this, that if you prove it in a big spot, right, you deserve to stay, right? Like, you earn your money when it matters. Biggest play of that game yesterday, Mitchell Robinson, just getting that offensive rebound off the free throw right through Wemby, sealing that game. So you know what? It's going to cost money, but Mitchell Robinson. But I'm going to throw one back at you now, Mr. Miller.
All right.
Okay? I think there's one player, and we could talk about this in an off-season show, but let's just preview this, okay? Because there's one player in the NBA that I think the Knicks have always wanted. I think that the Knicks would probably do anything but Jalen Brunson on the roster for. Would just be a perfect fit in New York. And that player is Giannis. Okay. So my question for you is, Cat, I believe, has one more year, right? Does Cat have one more year? Okay. One more year. His money is going to be something like close to $70 million.
Yeah.
With an extension. So my question to you, Ryan, is two-part question. Part one. Are you going to marry, not physically marry, but are you going to marry yourself to Karl Anthony Towns for another 5 years at roughly $350 million?
I say you can't. I really don't think you can. I think avoiding that kind of move is what got the Knicks to, having Leon Rose take over and say, we're not making a desperation move like that. We're going to keep the payroll, flexible, I think is what allowed us to win this. So I don't think you can.
So if you're not, right, like I said, and does everybody deserve to come back? When I say the word deserve, yes.
Yeah.
They won a championship. I mean, you can't get any better than what we did. But if you're going to say you don't want to do that because, and I love Cat, and listen, Cat delivered for us. Cat's a champion. But Cat can, at $70 million, and even what he's making, like, you can't have a performance like you did last night. I'm sorry, you can't. 2 points, 10 rebounds, but 2 points, fouling out. For $70 million, that can't happen, right? So you're saying you don't want to marry that. I'm not. I don't want to marry that. But if that's going to be the case, and you have a chance right now, not even now, 2 weeks, in a week, to go get Giannis, do you have to, not about do you do it, do you have to even think about doing it, Ryan? Do you have to think about, because again, he's going to go to Miami or Boston. That's going to be another animal we have to deal with. Or do you get involved and say, you know what? We're champs, but we could be even better with him. And it's going to cost Cat. Do you have to even think about that, Ryan?
I don't think it's Cat that you have to think about. I think it's how much do you deplete the roster beyond Cat that I think would worry me, right? Think it back to, look at the Carmelo Anthony trade. I mean, talk about an overpay for somebody you could have had down the road, but that's what those are the kind of decisions. You had what, a 2-year really good run with Melo, and that's all you had. So I don't know. I think you want to.
But again, Giannis really though kind of. He's still, if he turned around and said, listen, it's the Knicks or nobody for me. If they move, and if it's, listen, I want to go to the Knicks. Now, Leon Rose, it's your move to move him.
Yeah.
And it's because it's probably going to be Cat, right? Because I mean, yeah, it might be something else, but it's not going to be Cat and OG. Like that's not going to happen. But if it's Cat, do you have to, like, it's crazy we're talking about this because we just won a championship. But do you have to entertain that, Ryan?
Like I said, I think you really got to see what Cat plus what, because I think you entertain Cat, right, for all the reasons you just said. But I don't know. It's a tough one.
Kenny,
I'll be quick. You asked me 6 months ago. I'm saying, yeah, and everybody but Brunson. But you know what? Winning a championship changes my mind. Now it's everybody but Brunson and Anunoby. Anunoby's untradeable now too. He's a hero. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. He's a hero. He's not going anywhere. If they want Anunoby in the deal, sorry, it's not.
No, Anunoby's not going anywhere.
So that's changed now. You want to give them Cat and Bridges. I'll think about it. But it's got to be a friendly offer for the Knicks. I'm not overpaying. It's got to be a friendly offer for the Knicks if I'm doing it. The Knicks have plenty of leverage here, Brian. Exactly. Things change, Kurt, when you win a championship. Because if we didn't win a championship, I'd say yes, everybody but Brunson.
Sure. It does, but the only thing, like I said, listen, I love Cat, man, and I mean, how much you can't be happy as you are as a Knicks fan, but the two elephants in the room is the amount of money you're going to have to pay Cat. Now, if Cat turns around and says, "Listen, after my deal this year, I really want to be a Knick. I want to do what Brunson does. Listen, I'm going to go down to $40 million a year for 5 years."
Sure.
Sign it, done. But if you're going to seriously, like, I want it, like, it's like $72 million with the extension per year. 72.
Ryan, good point here from Trevor. Run it back with the same starting five. You have depth. Trading for Giannis means giving up depth and picks. We continue to build a bench. We already gave up picks for Bridges, so Trevor, the picks aren't there.
Listen, I don't care about picks. Picks mean
no. I'm saying the picks aren't there. It's depth on. It's
Let
depth that you're going to have to give up.
Who won the Nets trade? Who won the? Can both? I'm ready. I'm going to put all you guys on a question, including Trevor. Name the guys that the Nets got with the Knicks pick.
Oh, I'm not talking about. I'm saying the depth is what I'm concerned about. I don't give a crap about the picks. The picks aren't there.
But if you really look at our depth. Right? If you look at our depth, we got Clarkson on a vet minimum. We got Shamet on a vet minimum.
Yep.
Right? Alvarado for second-round picks. That's what our bench is. Right? Does Donnie play? Does Diawara play?
No.
Hokporty played. We are in a championship mode. Picking 20, 30, and those guys aren't going to. Totally can't even get on roster.
Well, here's my thing. You keep saying run it back.
But this is my question, Kenny. It's a lot of money. You have to think about that because Ryan just made a great point. That's not. We just had our captain, right? And you could say SGA, I'll laugh in anybody's face. SGA is not better than Jalen Brunson. There's not 2 or 3 players in this league better than Jalen Brunson. One of them might be Giannis. And he left $114 million on the table. $114 million. But you're going to have somebody getting 70? That's what we have to think about that. I'm sorry.
Future show. I do want to catch up on some comments. I'll start with Jody. He's most recent here about Giannis, and then I want to catch up on some. Giannis can't stay healthy from Jody. He goes, you want Robinson starting? You don't win a ring without Cat, period, he's saying. Okay. I'm with Jody on the Robinson thing, which drives me nuts. Kurt wants to I'm okay bringing him back. Biggest offensive rebound I've ever seen. Yes. You're a professional player and you cannot shoot a free throw. I mean, he's at the line and he's shooting line drives. You can't throw an arc on a ball. Like, I mean, somebody's got to teach this guy to be at least 50% from the line. I don't care if you shoot underhand or try and just hit the backboard on every free throw. Aim for the square is what I tell him. I mean, come on now. It's getting out of hand. It is getting out of hand, and you want to give him a pay raise. I'm not doing that, but that's a future show, right, off-season show. This is a celebration show.
No, it is, but this is the only thing I'm thinking about, and this is why it's so, like, I just do not want to be Leon Rose right now, right? Because if you look, give me any sport, right? If you look at, like, any sport, and they say to you, I don't know, who won the Super Bowl last year? I can't even think. Seattle. Okay, Seattle. And listen, I'm not even going to compare this, but if Joe Burrow turned around and said, make me a Seahawk, you still riding with Sam Darnold? Like that, it's so hard because he just won, but you know that guy is better. There's one guy in the NBA, not Jokic, not Luka Doncic. There's one guy that could make this championship team better. And it's Giannis. And that's why it's so hard for Leon Rose to make this decision. Listen, I'm going to ride with Leon because Leon has done nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. I'm going to ride with him. But it's just not easy and you got to remember, that guy can go to Boston. That guy can go to Miami. That's the problem. That's why I love Cat. And Jody's right. We don't win the title without him. But could we be better with Giannis? It's the one player that could make you not sleep at night and just say, how much better can we be? Ryan, am I wrong? Am I wrong?
You're right.
Let's celebrate it, but just
celebrate. Let me hit a couple comments. Kurt, take a breath. We can have this fired up debate.
No, it's not a debate.
No, it's a good one because there's going to be an off-season show that we're going to be doing.
Yeah.
So, Glenn, Brunson has really learned how to look after his body in the losses to Pacers, Heat, and company the past few years and build to this superstar player he's been for the 2025-26 seasons. He's also saying, wait till the Broncos win the Super Bowl this year, Kurt. You and I are going to be fired up together.
Should have won it last year. If Bo Nix doesn't get hurt, we win it.
And there's a good point, Ryan, that Glenn brings up. Now you have title players. Players are going to want to come for vet min or low contracts and stack the bench even more, he's saying.
Exactly.
And then Glenn's also saying Cat should be smart. If he wants to stay and take a team-friendly deal, he's not buying a meal or drink in New York City for his life. You add depth and try and build a dynasty, he's saying. And then Trevor on the other side, as your roster, it's true. As your roster gets more expensive, you're going to need to supplement that with younger, cheaper players to build a roster and a bench. The tax aprons in the NBA is a part of this whole equation.
Yeah.
And he's saying, let Giannis go to Miami or Boston. Miami has Bam and Giannis. Who else? Boston has Tatum and Giannis. Who else? Jaylen Brown would need to be a part of any Giannis trade. So he's saying the Knicks would still be deeper than Miami or Boston with Giannis.
Yeah.
All right, I'm caught up on the comments.
All right, I want to do this because like you said, it's just this topic is just this top. Again, like I said, it's just the one player that can just throw it out. But we're the champs. Everyone's looking at us now. Everybody looks up and says, well, how do we beat the Knicks? And this Knicks team is damn good. So you know what I want to do right now? I want to do some thank yous. And I'm going to go first. My first thank you, Jim Dolan. You know, all these guys, everybody, Jim Dolan can't do this. Jim Dolan's that. Jim Dolan's never going to win a championship. You know what? Like they said today on radio, Jim Dolan just had to find the right guy to run the team. So you know what? Thank you, Jim Dolan, for finding. And my second thank you, Leon Rose. He is the best. I will bring Michael Kay on here, Ryan Scoop Woodhams. Don't ever compare Leon Rose to Brian Cashman. It's just apples and oranges. This guy has gotten, oh my God, we can't trade RJ Barrett and Emmanuel quickly. Send them out, get OG Anunoby. But we can't trade Julius Randle. Go get Karl Anthony Towns. We can't trade picks. Send 5. I'd send another 5 from Mikal Bridges. This guy and this team was horrible. They were like an expansion team. Go get Brunson. You know what? He didn't care if he got hit with second-round picks. The NBA, he told the NBA, F you. I'm going to sit right in that seat, watch Brunson as a Maverick in the playoff, and I'm going to sign him as a free agent. And he did it. So thank you, Leon Rose. Thank you for getting Alvarado. I'm going to send a couple more thank yous. Thank yous to all the players that come. Like, thank yous to the 90 Knicks, the Ewing. I'm even going to say Oakley. He was in the building yesterday, but the Ewing, the Starks. All those guys, Marbury, LJ, that made you a Knick fan, that went to the game. There's no team, there's no franchise that has those guys, those stars sitting. I mean, between Starks is on the court during the games. He's on the court, which is insane, right? I want to thank Tom Thibodeau because you know what? We're not here. We don't win this title with what Tom Thibodeau didn't build. And it's, is he sitting here a little today like, should I have done it? Listen, that's on him. But again, that's what makes this executive move by what Leon Rose. He knew, listen, he wasn't going to change. We're not going to win it if he doesn't change. We have to make a move. Is Tom Thibodeau a great coach? Of course he's a great coach. But we weren't going to win it with his style. But thank you for everything he did. Who else do I want to thank? And I want to thank Mike Brown. Because you know why I want to thank Mike Brown? Because, we sit here and we talk about this fake news, stupid analytics stuff. Get Scoops on this show again. I can't play Alvarado and Brunson. Why? But I got to play Mikal Bridges. No, you don't. In Atlanta, he didn't produce. Landry Shamet played. You know what? Landry Shamet didn't play in the Cleveland series, right? No, he didn't. You know what? That's what I love because there's no book. There's nothing that's going to tell you. It's a coaching feel. It's a feel. If you're playing, if you're hot, I'm keeping you in. You're not. Josh Hart sat, right? Didn't Josh Hart sit in games? Oh, but he's a starter. You got to play Josh Hart this. No. Analytics, that's fake. That don't ever look at analytics. You can't win with a small point guard. Well, you did, right? Like it's the stupidest stuff. Don't ever look at it. That means nothing. So thank you, Mike Brown, for doing it. I love what he did the other night. He was just throwing people together. That's what you do. If you're hot, keep them in.
All hands on deck.
Jeremy Sochan got some playing time.
Exactly. Huck Porty yesterday. Like, think about it. You don't look and say, well, against the Spurs, no. If he's not playing, get him out. If he's staying hot, keep him in. Right? I got to play the first quarter or 2 minutes. No. Brunson the other day, he sat out the timeout. He played the whole second half in the game 4. That's what you do. So thank you for that. And I'm going to thank everybody. But my biggest Leon, and you know what, Jalen Brunson, thank you, Mark Cuban. Thank you, Mark Cuban, for being so stupid too, for not giving him what he wanted to offer him 5 years, $55 million or whatever he wanted to offer him.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. And then to the best fans in the world, those are my thank yous. But that's it. Ryan, give me some thank yous.
Kurt, you nailed the biggest one, so I'm just gonna echo
What's
everybody.
the biggest one? Leon?
Yeah, yeah. And I think even when you look at Leon Rose's acquisitions, right? You said he didn't miss. He didn't. He didn't miss on anybody. Even his mistakes, right? We'll call him a mistake. Yabusele, right? I didn't like the move. It didn't work out. You know what? He essentially turns him into Alvarado. Not only that, did you guys see that Yabusele went to one of the games?
Yes.
As a fan? And
He gets a ring. Doesn't he get a ring? Like Sochan would have got a ring.
Yep. He gets a ring. And last night he posted, I think it was on Instagram. I might have seen a post, thanking the organization, congratulating the fans. It didn't work out on the court. He seems like a great guy, right?
Yep.
Leon Rose brought in the right guys, no matter which way you slice it. And I think that, to me, is who you have to thank the most, right? He's the architect. You're going to be talking about him for years. He kind of stays in the shadows, which is kind of funny. You see him last night on the podium. I don't even know what the guy sounds like. He barely ever speaks. But yeah, and I want to say too, thank you to all the, usually we're going against all these media pundits, right? We talked about Becky Hammond before, all that, I can't stand Stephen A. personally, even though he's a Knicks fan, right? All these guys we had to listen to. The Inside the NBA guys gave us a hard time over the years here and there. But, you guys talked about some of the sports radio. I'm a WFAN guy through and through. Even Evan Roberts, diehard Nets fan, he gave the Knicks his flowers all throughout the playoff run. Everybody rallied around this team. They saw how special it was to so many generations of Knicks fans. So I want to say thank you to that. We had a Sixers fan in the comments here, congratulating us and thanking us. Everybody really saw what it meant to this fan base. And I think I really am appreciative of that. There was no trolling about this team. There was no sarcasm towards anybody's good. Everybody felt good for these fans. And, that, we mentioned the Mets earlier. Somebody mentioned the Mets. I'm a diehard Mets fan as well. So again, 86, way before my time. Baseball is different. Baseball, you play a 3-game series. You can have a terrible year, be in last place, and win 1 out of 3. You go to a game as a kid. You have a chance to win that game, whether the team's good or bad. Basketball is not like that. Those years we won, 16 games? So much losing, so much bad talent. And people like us, we stuck through with this team. So thank you to all these fans that stuck with us. Thank you to all these people that are kind of letting us enjoy this moment. Everybody's being so genuine about this. New York came together. So those are my thank yous.
Kenny, I want to add one more too. And you know what? And this is, Ryan made a great point, and obviously us three, and we had Mark and we had Paul and we had Jen, and I'm going to put them in the category too, is, this is why it's so important. And I would always advise, you can never tell somebody what team to like, or you can't tell them what to do, but don't jump off a bandwagon, because just like Ryan said, you know what makes the championship so much better today are those teams with 16 wins, because we didn't jump ship and say, hey, I'm going to go root for the Warriors, or I'm going to go root for Dallas. We didn't do that. You know what? You sat through 16 wins. You sat through draft lotteries. You sat through, oh my God, we're going to pick first. Oh my God, we're going to pick fourth. We didn't get the ping pong ball. These free agents aren't going to come. You know what? That's what makes this, that's what made the New York such New York, right? It just does, because of everything we went through. And that's what makes you a true fan. And that's what I'm most proud of myself for, because I always do. I mean, I'm always loyal to my teams. But you guys are too. But that's why it's so important to be there's some people, I can never be a Knicks fan. I'm going to like the, Lakers. Those people today regret that, because that's why we feel like we how we feel today. It's because of the bad we went through. Kenny, any thank yous?
Yeah. First of all, say hello to Clayton. Clayton's coming in
What's up,
early.
Clayton?
And before I get to some comments, I do want to thank a lot of people, not only, the two of you, of course, but our audience, and you don't have to be a Knicks fan, but I've gotten a lot of texts, phone calls, and messages the last couple days from friends, family who aren't Knicks fans, congratulating me, not congratulating the Knicks. Happy to see that we got to witness a Knicks title. And I appreciate that. And I thank you for that.
Yep.
They're not rooting for the Knicks. They're rooting for us. People like Glenn text me every day. Hey, your Knicks are looking good. I'm rooting for you, Kenny. I'm rooting for you, Kurt. Trevor, credit to Mike Brown for finally getting the Knicks over the top. That is now 2 former Kings head coaches who've won NBA championships. Mike Malone,
It's
the other
crazy.
one. Big thank you to the Sacramento Kings for letting Mike Brown go. So let's throw that one out there. But no, just in general, you guys nailed all the thank yous for the Knicks organization, the Alan Hans of the world, the MSG
Yes.
coverage,
Yep.
ESPN radio coverage, Get Up coverage with Greeny, who's a big Knicks fan. A lot of the coverage there, and big thank you. Someone I like a lot, and I think she does a great job. And future for women in radio and TV, Monica McNutt does a great job covering the Knicks. Got to give her a shout out. So definitely some shout outs, some thank yous there. Keith saying the grit is real for Knicks fans. Keith has a question. I'll hit that in a second. Glenn saying culture is the key. Great call, Ryan. Let's thank Jeff Van Gundy. He was with us for a long time.
Yeah.
Let's thank those 90s Knicks that we mentioned and early 2000s Knicks. Throw Jeff Van Gundy's name out there. Came just short. And this is going to be a crazy one. I am going to thank the 3-4 blocks from Smith. Smith goes up and gets blocked 4 times. I am going to thank the finger roll miss of Patrick Ewing, because we would have not had the same excitement as we're having today without those heartbreaks. So thank you for the heartbreaks as well. So that's it. That's my thank yous. I do have a couple more comments, Kurt, real quick, and then we can continue. Congrats to you, because you all been fans longer than the players have been alive.
Yep.
Gwen saying you have to bleed and feel to appreciate titles. And then Keith's question is an easy one for me. Does anyone from this team land on the Mount Rushmore of Knicks players? Jalen Brunson might be the best of all time when it's said and done.
Has to.
Yeah.
Has to. I mean, what this guy has done, right? Like, we sit here and we talked a bit, like, LeBron was just scared shit to do it. He wanted no part of doing it. KD wanted no part of doing it. Kyrie wanted no part of doing it. And it wasn't they don't like New York. They don't like – you don't think all of them are looking today and saying, oh, my God, like, I could have been the one to lead, to lead. And, like, I've always said this. If LeBron did what Brunson did, he would be the GOAT. He would, because nobody could do it for 53 years. Now, Brunson, I'm not going to listen. Brunson's not Michael Jordan. I'm going to just say this though: the performance he had yesterday. I mean, that's honestly Curry / Michael Jordan-ish in the finals. Yes. It is. It's crazy. But I want to go to one question. I'm going to start with Kenny on this one. We look at, I've said this to Scoops, and I remember saying this to Scoops, 3 years ago when we played Cleveland. And I said, Scoops, watch game 3. You're never going to experience like it. It's not a knock on the Yankees, the Mets, the Jets, the Giants. It's not a knock on everything. But nobody in this town does what the New York Knicks do. You look at and not just the finals, game 1 versus Atlanta. This city, this place, Madison Square Garden. You just look around last night. What people, and Ryan experienced, he was there. Just, Kenny, why is it just different with the Knicks? Why? There's
'Cause
nothing you can compare.
it's been so long in the suffering, I just, it's a basketball town. It's always been a basketball town. And, we've always had the heartbreaks. And I think that's what builds up to it is your heartbreaks when you're there. And just a couple of years, like just last year, losing to the Pacers, heartbreak. Year before, all the injuries, the heartbreak.
Yep.
So I'm not talking about 20 years. I'm talking about the last 5 years of heartbreak. Since Brunson's been here, we've had a heartbreak every year, and finally overcoming that, you're going to see, even if you're not a Knicks fan, you're going to want to watch this parade on Thursday because you're going to see nothing like you've ever seen. And Ryan, you're going to experience it. I'm getting chills now. Kurt, myself, and a couple of our old friends, one of them, rest in peace, Mike Zooks, we went to the Yankee parade in '96 when they won the World Series.
Yeah.
And it's going to be just like that, Kurt. It might be 5 million people there. It's going to be wild.
They're actually saying like you have to go. Like they're actually saying people are just going to be sleeping there on Wednesday night. Like it's going to be crazy, like absolutely insane. But Ryan, come through. Don't forget that confetti. But let me ask you, Ryan, you were why? Like you're a Met fan. Why is it just it's different? Why is it different for like nobody does? Like nobody in the past couple of years, but even like especially this year, like when you're a Knicks fan, you're at the Garden, just what is different?
I think, Kenny kind of touched upon all the basketball reasons. I think besides that, there's so much iconic about the franchise that we don't even, we spend so much time on the X's and O's talking about the basketball. We always try to sneak in some shout outs from Mike Breen and here and there. But there's so, Madison Square Garden. It's just, it's the world's most famous arena, right? The PA announcer, I always butcher his last name, Mike
Wojciechowski.
Yeah, so it's a tough one. He has such an iconic voice. I still hear to this day, Carmelo Anthony, like the 3-point goal, all those iconic things, Celebrity Row, Breen and Clyde Frazier on the call all these years, there's something there, whether they're good or bad, and then you have that foundation that look at, when they won the East, you didn't see it as much at the finals. I don't know if maybe there's some more NBA rules behind this or whatnot, or media stuff, but when they won the East, Clyde was up there on the podium with those guys. Ewing was up there on the podium with these guys. I mean, you saw these guys travel. You see they're around the team. It's like a family, it really is. And I think that's what, generation to generation of fan, you say, I'm going to be thinking about, 40, 50 years from now, I say, hey, I remember when, Jalen Brunson and the Knicks went into San Antonio, won that game, and that's what Knicks culture kind of is, it's got lineage, it's got, storyline to it. And you've had great, we haven't even mentioned somebody like Marv Albert, what a great, I heard him on WFAN earlier with Joe Beningo, and he did a
John
nice
Andrews, like growing up younger. Yep.
You have storytellers behind this franchise that have just painted such a nice picture of this team's history. And I think that's just, you got a storybook ending to this season, just the way it's been set up for. So I think, obviously beyond the basketball, there's a lot more to it, than just that.
And you know what, guys? Listen, like, I don't, again, I've said this, and, I heard Kenny, I always say this on the Bronco podcast, like, and I heard this yesterday, and they were saying, we will never see like what happened with Brady and the Patriots. You're never going to see playing for all these AFC and NFC championship games. And like, you're not going to see it. Like the same thing, like people think the Spurs are just going to be, it's the Spurs, the OKC, like, OKC didn't think the Spurs were going to be there. Like OKC probably said, we're going to win the next 3-4 championships. They didn't even get there. Like, it doesn't work like that. You have to win one championship and then just go from there. You don't know how the league is going to change. We can't foresee, like, listen, a team in the East could sign Giannis and make another, you don't know. So you have to cherish it. But I could tell you this, with Leon Rose running that show, you are not going to see, like, you are not going back to 16, 17 wins. Like, that is not going to happen because he's just too good of a GM. Like, he's too good. The Knicks now are, like you guys are saying, the hot spot. Anytime another free agent is there and we have money, we are going to be right at the top of the line. I mean, listen, we just won a championship and we're still talking a bit about, do we have to move somebody because the best player in basketball keeps saying he wants to play for New York. Like, that's why we're talking about it. Like, and anybody's going to be like that. I saw something today saying, don't look now, Anthony Edwards in a couple of years. It kept saying Donovan Mitchell is eventually, he's trying to, like, people are going to want to play for the Knicks. Like, this isn't 2010. It's not like that anymore. Like, so, we're not going to see that. Now, we can never say there's no injuries and you can't count that. You never know. But going forward, I just don't think they're going to be bad. Kenny, agree or disagree with me?
No, I don't think they're going to be bad neither. And you know what? I agree with a lot of people in the audience and agree with running it back. But, and then you see how you are regular season. If you need to improve, we improved with a Jose Alvarado at the deadline.
Yes.
Okay. And we do the same thing next year if needed. And I think that's the recipe for success for the Knicks. The title runs through New York now, not just the East. The title runs through New York now. So we're going to be defending, and I can't wait to defend. But we're going to enjoy this week. We're going to watch an amazing parade that's going to give me goosebumps up and down. And can't wait for the off-season talk and for the 2026-2027 defending NBA champions, New York Knicks, saying that, defending NBA champions. Can't wait to say that. So
all right.
I'm excited. And, it's still surreal for me. I still don't believe it. I'll see Kurt and Jen in a couple weeks down in Wildwood, New Jersey, and it probably still won't feel like we still did it until we have that celebratory drink. It might not sink in until then, Kurt.
Yeah, it's 11 o'clock. We've been doing, let's go. Final thoughts. Kenny, you just took the words out of my mouth. Like, it doesn't feel surreal. Like, it's like, like we're NBA champs. And I'm just going to be honest. Like, I remember starting from a podcast early on. I was fired up last year after we lost Indiana. Kenny, you were backstage with me and I was going nuts. And it's just, what? Like, enough is enough, man. Like, all the people of, like you said, the mockery of this. You know what? I'm getting the shirt next week. New York versus everybody, man. It's everybody versus the Knicks. Yep. There's no. You know what? Like, this title is a big FU to everybody. So I don't want to hear from Piston fans, Nets fans, Celtics fans. You know what? Go over there. This is our time now. This is our time. We are the NBA champs. It's New York versus everybody. And that's the mentality that this team had. And that's why I love Jalen Brunson. That's why I love Cat. That's why I love Josh Hart. That's what this team does, man. That's what this team does. This team does not care who's in their way. They don't. They didn't care about Wemby. They didn't think about it. They went right at him. OG dunking on him. Alvarado. That's it. We don't care that the NBA was corrupt. They were corrupt. Look what they did. Look, like, seriously. Look. I bet you guys anything. Now they'll say, oh, he was a flagrant foul. He's going to be out opening night when they put San Antonio against,
Memphis.
Nobody's watching. Oh, they weren't going to suspend, but we didn't care. That's the mentality you have to have. Last year we got punked. We did. We let Halliburton. He's like a jackrabbit running around punked us, and they let it happen. No more. Those games are over. And the city did it. The front office did it. F you to everybody else. I'm sorry. Listen, you don't like it? Tough. We were the punching bag for how many years? No more. We are the world champs. And you know what? I always had that feeling, guys. I always had that feeling of, you know what? This is the team to do it. And now you let this franchise, that building that Ryan was just talking a bit about, you let us as a champion. I'm just going to say this. Good luck to the rest of the league trying to come get us, because now it's New York or nowhere. And you know what? I love everybody on this roster. Thank you guys so much for bringing this title. I got to rearrange the whole sports room because I got about 9,000 newspapers, and I don't know what I'm going to do. But I got to get my new banner. I bought all the banners. And I'm just going to throw one thing at you. You know what made me know? I saw one post, guys, yesterday where I saw a tweet and I said to Jen, I showed it to her. I said, we're not losing tonight. What was yesterday's date?
Oh, the Holtzman, the 613. I saw that one.
6-13. Yesterday, 6-13. Last coach to win a title, Red Holtzman. How many wins? He's got a banner in the garden. I'm looking right at it. 6-13. When I saw that, no chance. So that's it. I love this roster. I love you guys. Great. We're going to start doing an off-season show, but you know what? This is now where we have to do this every year. Because my intentions, I'll be quick. We're going to blow through the East again next year. And if it's Spurs, let's go. If it's OKC, let's go. But will we be there next year? 100%.
Our great friend Carson saying, congrats, boys, at the right time, because Kurt's saying we're going to run through the East. Appreciate it, Carson.
Through that East. But that's my final thoughts. Listen.
I want to go next, Kurt, because I'm super superstitious. Ryan.
I lost him.
There he is.
I'm back. Yeah, I've got a little glitch there for a second. I want to go next because Ryan's been going last, and we want to
Ryan always gets
the
the final thought.
But Carson came in saying, "Congrats, boys." I do want to say a couple comments real quick from Glenn that I want to put in my final comments. Real fans recognize real. Talking about us. He hated the Knicks, or I hate the Knicks. But fans like you brought the true fan into the garden to align for the better of basketball. New York is the Mecca, always will be. He's saying the garden has an unexplainable vortex for sports fans and athletes, as does the city. I felt it as a fan watching Knicks and also a boxing fight. It's genuine mystique and magic. That was your answer to your question earlier. I got nothing really much to add except thank you, everybody. This has been great celebrating this with you. It's been a great ride. Kurt, we finally got it. You know, it'll be real in a couple of weeks when we get to have that drink. Ryan, it's been a great ride. Expect many more now. You know, this is just the beginning. Now it's time for the dynasty. You know, we got one, but it doesn't end here. We got the windows now. Let's keep it going. And let's get right back there next year. But Thursday parade, you do not want to miss it, no matter who you root for. It's going to be something special. Ryan, take pictures. Can't wait to see the confetti that you have for Kurt. And we'll be doing an off-season show real soon. And can't wait to do this again with everybody. Congratulations, Knicks fans.
Mr. Miller, like you've been doing, final thoughts, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me throughout the playoffs, our opening night show. Maybe next year we'll be doing them during the regular season a little bit more frequently.
Oh, yeah.
I think, now we're getting into a rhythm, the three of us. So I thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it. I'm just going to say, we did our thank yous, right? I'm going to also add one last one. Just thank you to this team for all the memories of this playoff run.
Yes.
I can't imagine. I couldn't have imagined, I thought we were going to get a lot more of the Brunson, putting the team on his back throughout the playoffs. And what a distribution of moments from this team throughout the playoffs, right? You could talk about the Shamet, series, and the fire 3-point shooting. Even, a moment Robinson gets the big rebound last night, but he has that big block on Embiid in the Philly series, right? He has this moment. Obviously, OG has this moment with the tip in, Brunson's got his game. Go up and Alvarado coming off the bench. And all these guys contributed. And I think you're going to have a memory from all these series these are replays we're going to see for decades, of this run and the dominance that this team showed. So it's just cool now to sit here and say, no, we lived this. We were part of this moment. When it's in this highlight reel, 20, 30, 40 years from now, we'll be able to say we saw that moment. We were there, we were watching it. We were a part of this run, because it was, it's special for me to see, all the history, the lineage of runs past, but to be part of it is just such a totally different feeling. It just elevates it so much. So that's another thank you I'm going to throw in there. But it was a pleasure being on with you guys all season. Thank you so much for having me. And we'll do an off-season show, right, for sure, and touch base. But what a run! I'm still in disbelief. Hopefully Thursday it really starts to feel real.
Guys, you know what's so weird? And I said this to Jen today. I'm like, I'm not used to one thing. Do you realize the draft is next week?
Not even on my mind.
I'm like, it's not even on your mind. Like, and you're so used to, oh my God, that's next week. Like, it's crazy. So I like it though. Hey, who cares? No, there's no off-season talk until now. Let's do it, baby. But guys, listen.
Yep. Am I going to hold a question for our off-season show? I want to know who the GOAT of New York is. And I will have a list of players from Jalen Brunson, Derek Jeter, Eli Manning, etc. And you guys are going to have a long time to think about it. Not too long, because the off-season show will be here before you know it. But that's going to be a question for everybody to think about for the off-season show. Greatest GOAT of all time for the Knicks, for New York sports.
I actually saw it. I saw somebody put it. They had Brunson at 4. Can you guys, on this guy's list, can you name the 3 above him? I know he was 2.
Eli Manning.
No.
LT.
Actually, I'm sorry. LT was 4. Brunson was 3. Jeter was 2. Who do you think was 1?
Mark Messier?
No. I don't know if I agree with this. I mean, it's.
Are we going somebody historic or somebody that we've seen?
Historic. Yeah.
So like a Babe Ruth or something like that?
Babe Ruth was number 1.
See, I'm not going to go that far back. I'm going to go back like the 20th
Babe Ruth was
century.
number 1. So it was Babe Ruth.
The color TV era.
Yeah.
It was Babe Ruth, Jeter, Brunson.
Messier, you said?
No, LT was 4. Messier was up there. Mariano Rivera was.
And I'll have a list of like
4. Yeah. We got some homework.
Top 10. I'll play a little game with you guys, see if you can guess the top 10 GOATs of all time.
All right.
All right, boys.
Awesome.
Great show. It's
amazing.
Late, 11:11. I slept about 3 hours last night. I'm going to be useless in school tomorrow. I could just tell you that, and work. So probably all week. So it is what it is.
This doesn't happen every time.
It doesn't happen at all. I'll show up.
Best time to make an exception.
That's it. All right, boys. Have a good one. Thank you to all the comments and everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
And hey, I'm just gonna end it with this. Let's go Knicks. Talk to you later.
All right.